Barack Hussein Obama. You've been called the chosen one, the Messiah, an African God, a post-racial president. Unfortunately, Barack, you have now proven to be a destructive president. Barack, my name is Grady Warren, and I'm an angry white man. And I'm here to announce that I'm going to defeat you for president in the 2012 election. After 2+ years of hundreds of your lies being exposed, to a background that no one can find, to dining out on $100 a pound Kobe beef, to 70+ rounds of golf, to Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder serenading your children, to gallivanting all over the planet. Barack, the hope and change you promised in your campaign did not include a fundamental change to the United States. You never promised in your campaign to include Marxism, socialism, communism, Muslim sympathizing, apologizing for our exceptionalism to the world, to destroying the U.S. Constitution, tying the hands of small business, to your loathing and disdain for our military, shutting down U.S. businesses like oil, to keeping American fishermen off our oceans, to redistribution of wealth, and turning our back on our allies like Great Britain and especially Israel, to putting us all in more debt. Barack, we now know exactly who you are, and you are a threat to national security. As president, my first order of business shall be to dissolve the IRS and implement the Linder-Bortz fair tax. Then I will eliminate all corporate taxes. Then we will reduce all small business taxes and the hurdles they face in starting new businesses. Next, I will hire thousands of subcontractors to search out the fraud in Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, housing, welfare, and food stamps. This will save many billions of dollars per year. After several decades of failure to assimilate as Americans, Black Americans shall be taught how to become Americans. The National Education Association and their stranglehold on our educational system and schools shall be eliminated. This organization has been a money laundering Democratic Action Committee that has failed millions of blacks. Next, I will open re-education centers on closed military bases around the country. The 14 to 25-year-old blacks that have dropped out of school and are a drain on local crime departments and welfare resources will be sent to these camps to learn how to become American men and American women. The other races shall follow. I will also create a cash program for Black and legal Hispanic families to move to sanctuary cities. I shall appoint the nation's sheriff, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, as our crime czar, and demand our southern border wall be completed in 6 months, while being protected by the National Guard with orders to shoot on sight for border crosses. Sheriff Joe will also build tent cities around the nation to hold criminals and illegal aliens awaiting deportation. Deportation of all illegal aliens shall be his goal in 2 years in every state. Next, I will end the war on drugs, creating more drug treatment centers, and begin a war on Muslims in America. Around the globe, Muslims burn Christians alive, burn their churches, behead them, and bury crosses in their victims' bodies. These cave-dwelling, women-hating, camel and cow-humping, homosexual-killing pedophiles must be driven out of the United States. So I shall call for the searching of all mosques for weapons of mass destruction and caches of small arms. As your president, I shall promise that Sharia law will never happen on my watch. Next, I will call for an immediate deportation of all Muslims in America. I will make this a Muslim-free nation. I will pull all of our troops off of Muslim soil around the world. Our military shall never occupy Muslim soil again, or allow any aid or arms to be sold to Muslim countries. However, as your Commander-in-Chief, I shall reserve the right to use nuclear bombs when needed. I will build our Navy up to 500 ships. I will close some bases around the world while funding our military to once again be the most powerful and well-equipped nation in the world. I will reinstate Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and will fight all efforts to change marriage between a man and a woman. Immediately, I will end all foreign aid until America can first feed its own citizens. I will divorce the United Nations, cutting all financial ties, and NATO. On energy, I will close the Environmental Protection Agency and remove all obstacles to taking our own coal, our own natural gas, our crude oil, and clearing for permits for nuclear power plants. Energy independence is a matter of national security. I will remove all national laws keeping our fishermen off our oceans while they enjoy the bounty of the sea and feed their families. I will fight for tort reform against the blood-sucking trial attorneys that have made thousands of businesses flee America, and by going to a loser pays legal system that will end frivolous lawsuits and will save businesses billions. I will work with all faiths other than Muslims to restore God's presence in America. The ACLU and other atheist bastions of fear and Christian hate shall be fought at every turn. Activist liberal judges shall be exposed to the public so they can be voted out and removed. I shall not allow God to be taken out of America's values anymore. And the Andy Stearns, the Richard Trumkas, and the other union thug bosses shall be monitored for anti-American activities like voter fraud, subversive activities, voter intimidation. People like them and Cass Sunstein, George Soros, Van Jones, and many others may find themselves in prison or worse for trying to incite violence on American streets, to destroying the United States of America's financial system. Ladies, gentlemen, young people, I love our country, and I honor all the brave men and women that have served this great nation to make America the greatest country in the world. We, as Americans, first, can save America if we use our one vote in November 2012 to change the faces in Washington. One more time, both the Republicans and the Democrats have sold us out, used us, lied to us while they benefited. Some new blood and some new ideas are needed. This is a small portion of my platform and how I would get our nation back to its founding principles while I uphold and respect the Constitution. If we will fight for our Constitution and our God and our rights as Americans for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, good shall defeat evil. But I need your help. Please support my efforts by buying a t-shirt or sending as little as $10 to our campaign. I will guarantee to continue my efforts to bring this message to America that I believe it needs to hear. Now, for those of you that think I'm not educated enough or I don't have experience enough, I'm proud to say that I've been a longtime member of the Heritage Foundation. I've learned constitutional law from the great one, Mark Levin, and also Judge Andrew Napolitano. I've studied under Sean Hannity. I've learned American history from Glenn Beck and many of his guests. But most importantly, for the last 15 years, I have been at the top of my class at the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. So people, please, don't doubt me. I'm Grady Warren, and I approve this message.